And that gives you so much confidence. And when you work so hard, today I want to talk to you guys about winning. Okay, so who here likes to win?
I think we all do.
Yeah, and that's normal, okay? And, winning at your job, specifically, let's just talk about that. Or in life too, okay? So what does winning kind of mean to you guys?
Doing good and everything.
Yeah, it's not just one thing, right? Yeah, it's one thing to win at work, but if you don't have good health or if you don't have bad relationships, at work, I wouldn't consider that winning. But what is it about? So that's a good one. I like that. Winning means you're not just winning in one category, winning in a lot of categories, the important categories. What about at work? What does winning kind of look like?
Making money.
Making money.
Selling a lot.
Selling a lot. That's what winning is about, Again, insurance is based on a numbers game, so if somebody works hard, your numbers go up, and that's something that's very easy to calculate. And for my position, I could really compensate based on the numbers. So winning is based on, just like sports, like, hey, who has bigger numbers, and the higher numbers, the bigger income. So definitely winning means more income. It also means having a good relationship with your coworkers, with your clients, with your boss. Those are all part of like winning. And I think winning is something that we should all strive for. I'm gonna tell you, I really want to win. So I'll go back to 2012. So I was been an insurance agent for 5 years. I was gambling all my money on leads, remember? And it was working. So there was this new program that I had called the Platform Program. And they invited 30 of promising young agents to be mentored by the agent of the year at that time. So I was selected. I was like, wow, this is great. Like, what an opportunity to learn from the agent of the year. This agent was from Chicago. He was been an agent for like 30 years, more than that. We're always wearing like a pinstripe suit. And we met in the headquarters in LA, and he had like a class for like a whole week. So I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity. I'm only 5 years in, he's in business for 30 years. And I was luckily selected to have like a one-on-one meeting with him. I was like, oh wow, okay. Because back then it was kind of hard for me to talk to any other agents that were doing really well. And he was at a whole nother different level for me. So I was like, this is a great opportunity for me to ask any questions I like. And he was a straight shooter. He seemed like a tough guy. And from what I heard, he was really tough on his employees. But anyways, I was able to talk to him and ask him, he was like, ask me any questions, what do you need help with? I had a limited time with him. I was like, okay, well, let's get right into it. Like, okay, how much do you make? And he's showing me his like bank statements and stuff like that. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. And I think at that time I was in 5 years, and I was thinking for some reason that as a business owner, once you reach 5 years, and I had like 3 employees at that time, that I'm gonna be able to I pay my dues and I could cruise a little bit. Like I could take it easy and enjoy life. And I was envisioning like all these great like agents like just playing golf and just taking it easy. So I thought that was gonna be like what I was gonna hear. Like, my life is great, I don't have to work that hard. All my staff does everything and I'm just chilling. So I thought that's what I was gonna hear. So I was like, so how much do you work? And he told me how much he works, and I was like, okay, wait, so what time do you get in the office? I was like, oh, 7 a.m. and I'll leave till 7 p.m. And at that time, I was waking up at 8:30 and getting to work at 10. So I was like, wow, so you work harder than me, even though you're way at a higher level than me. And at that time, I was like, wow, okay, well, at least I should wake up at 7 because he's in the office at 7. And I was thinking like, finding out like how many leads you buy, how many staff members you have, how many calls you guys make, and the numbers were just like way higher than ours. And I was like, wow, it just put me in a whole nother like level of like understand like how much work it takes. And plus he's been doing it for 30 years compared to my 5 years. So I was thinking like, and then I started asking him like, hey, like, do you take a lot of time off? He's like, son, all I do is spend time with my family or go to a Bulls game. That's about it. I was like, so no night out with the boys? Like, I was thinking about that kind of stuff because that's kind of what I was doing at that time. I didn't have kids back then. I wasn't married back then. So I was like thinking like, wow, the sacrifices and what he does is like totally different. So I got back to the office and I was like, okay, well, let me at least try to get here a little bit earlier. it just reframed how much work is necessary. So that was a great experience for me to understand, like, wow, the amount of work it takes is like another level. And he kind of knew that I was asking this question. I was kind of surprised, and he could kind of see, maybe I was like disappointed. I was a little bit shocked, and he kind of got it. Like, he was like, oh wow, this guy doesn't get it. And I remember him saying, like, son, you don't even know what it's like to work hard yet. Like, you're too young to even know what work is, because you've only been doing it for 5 years. And he said it in a way that was like, it could kind of like hurt my ego, but like, I was the one asking him to talk to him. So if I didn't take his advice, it's like, it's stupid for me to like go, hey, can I talk to you? What he gave me, the information he gave me, and be like, yeah, whatever. I took it seriously. I was like, you know what? This guy's right. Like, I'm over here thinking I'm working hard, and it's not even close to the level it needs to be if I want to be the best of the best, which he was. So for you guys, you know, I mean, would you guys consider what you guys doing right now hard?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, time consuming too.
Yeah, and I'll agree with you guys.
I'd say more time consuming.
I mean, you guys, some of you guys have been here for years and years, and you guys have never had to deal with a commission cut. You know, you guys have never had to deal with,
And so much work.
and with so much work, and company guidelines,
Restrictions.
threats from companies, binding authorities, suspensions, audits. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's hard, okay? Or let's say many of you guys were working at a place, and because of what happened there, you had to change jobs. That's not easy, okay? Because, you know, commission cuts at other places is way worse than ours, where literally like offices closing down. And I heard an Allstate agent, the biggest Allstate agent in California, laid off 42 people in one day. Like, damn, how do you even have that many people? But he's like, just like closed it, because he's like, there's just no way we could do business with these commissions. There's a lot of hard things going on in business. Or maybe you studied your butt off to get your license, and now you finally got your license, and now we have these restrictions and customer service. Like, we're not going to be doing this. There's a lot of different things. Everybody's levels they're at in this business right now is hard. So what helped me out is, after that meeting, I went back to the office, and then at that time they said, okay, you have to have 2 people that are fully licensed. That means they have their PNC, not your personal lines, PNC and your life. And I was like, good, I have 2 people right now. Just like about a month after that meeting, one of the guys was working for me. He just really started there recently. Well, he was there for like 6 months maybe. And he said he's quitting. He's like, well, tell you the truth, my uncle wanted me to like learn everything from you, and once I learn it, my uncle's gonna start his own agency. I was like, good luck. But anyway, it didn't work out. But anyways, I was like, shoot, now I'm not gonna qualify for minimum standards of having staff. 2 people fully licensed. So I called him, and I was like, crying to him. I'm like, dude, this guy quit on me, and now I had to find one person, and by the end of the year, I had to find somebody. They got to get licensed and stuff like that. And he was listening to me, and he was like, did any part of my conversation, did I ever say it was gonna be easy? I'm like, no. He's like, did I tell you it was gonna be hard? He was like, well, actually, you did tell me it was gonna be very hard. Well, how you feel right now, this is what hard feels like. And then after that, I never had to talk to him ever again. Like, I just felt like I got it. Like, I kind of finally like accepted it. And for you guys, maybe this is what hard feels like. So I was like, I gotta get to work. Put some ads on Craigslist. Who was the person that came through my door? Laura. Now you know the story why you had to get licensed so fast. So back then, when you have 3 and one person quits, and it's like 2 from 3, that's a huge difference. Okay, so it was already busy, and then someone, Laura came in, new, not licensed, and then not only had to pick up calls and do all the customer service. She wasn't licensed back then, but now having to get licensed right away, and not just get licensed. We're talking about the personal property and casualty and the life back to back. By the end of the year. Was it the end of the year? It was, right? And we took it, and it was so hard for her. But looking back at it, I think what helped her was, like most people have like a level here. You define a certain level of struggle as hard, right? But every once in a while in life, there's occurrences that makes it even harder. But I think when Laura and I first started, like our baseline was already here. So when new things happened, it wasn't that difficult to deal with. So one of the things that really helps us go through difficult times, when you reframe your mindset, it's like hard is actually here. This is not actually even hard. Okay, so when you accept that actually to be really amazing in this business, it takes so much work. And I think that beginning of her career actually made her who she is today, because that was so much action that was necessary. Right when she got hired, she had to do so much that actually I feel like that helped her get off to the right step into the rest of her career. Okay, so this experience that you guys are going through is going to help you guys too, because it's reframing us like, oh, I thought this was hard. No, actually, this is the real level it takes of how hard it needs to be if and only if you want to become successful in this business. So yeah, let's all reframe our mind, okay? So what it takes. What does it take?
Hard work.
Hard work. Thank you, Jason. Adaptation, which is a lot of work too. So it's not easy sometimes. Totally get it. What else?
Consistency.
Consistency.
Staying positive.
Staying positive. Thank you guys. Yeah, great stuff. What's
Being able to adjust.
Yep. What's something that's really hard outside of work that some of you guys have done, like extremely hard? Have a kid.
I was only leaving for 2 hours.
Really? That's a whole nother level of hard that I don't get. So what you guys go through is hard, but the process was hard too, right? Delivering is even harder. Okay,
Really, that was easy. Mine wasn't.
You guys all had different levels of hard during that experience. Now, what if your goal for you guys was to have another baby, or for us who don't have baby, or for you guys, for us, I can have a baby, okay? But this, I just want to set the record straight, all right, guys? We're not a woke office, so guys can't get pregnant. I just want to make sure we're on the same page there. Let's say your goal was to have a baby, right? Can you speed up that process? What if you take just massive action in the bedroom with your partner?
No, it could happen.
But could it be faster? Still gonna take 9 months. Well, what if you just go the other way and for some reason you lost all your ethics and or whatever you want to call it, and just had 9 partners and take massive action? Would the process be any faster?
No. So
Okay, so what am I trying to tell you guys?
even worse, because you won't even know who the baby daddy
That could be a problem. Patience, it takes time. That's what I want to tell you guys, is that it not only takes a lot of work, but like Jason said, consistency and positivity, but it takes a whole amount of time to be successful in this business. And that's also what my mentor was trying to tell me. Like, you don't know what hard work is because you've only been working for 5 years. It's like no way you really understand it. That's why I want to talk to you guys about this, okay? Because we've got to, once again, reframe the reality of what it takes to win in this business, okay? It takes a lot of work. Not only takes a lot of work, paying your dues and doing jobs that doesn't actually pay you right away, but it also, because getting licensed is not the goal, it's actually the beginning point. Okay, it's actually like having a baby. It's like, okay, now you had the baby, it's like, is your job done? That's really when the job starts. Like, you actually entered the game, finally. Okay, and it gets harder from there. So I just want to reframe everybody's mindset of like, okay, right now it's hard, it takes a lot of work, but the amount of time that it takes, but once you put in a lot of time of experience, that's when you start becoming really good at your job, okay? And really good as a parent too, okay? Because it's not giving the birth, or it's not like one single thing you did that's gonna change your career. Like, people think like, if I graduate, my life's gonna change. It's like, it's not one single thing you do. It's a million small things you do. Okay, so the consistency of putting, like if you're with your kids and then it's not like you just showed up for one birthday. It's like you gotta show up every day and not have your phone with you, or every weekend, at least in my situation, not have your phone and be 100% concentrated. That's what makes you a good parent. It's not just every once in a while doing things when you feel like it. Same thing with your job. Doing the same thing, small things, and the work precedes the results. right? You got to put in the work and then you get the results. Just like, I've talked about this a million times with fitness, you just can't get your results without the work first. And same thing, it just takes time. It takes time. So a lot of similarities in being parenting, a lot of difficult things. If you want to have an amazing career in the insurance business, it's going to take work and it's going to take a lot of time. You want to be one of the best. If you want to have an amazing career, we have great income, you have a great work-life balance, you have a great co-workers, you have a great understanding manager. It's going to take time, and it's going to take not one or two things that really change everything. It's going to a million small things. So why work hard as fuck? Because I'm saying all this stuff that's like, okay, that's what it takes. But now you guys might be thinking like, man, is it worth it? Why should we even do this? We got bills to pay, okay? You make money, all right? So not only do you have bills to pay, but you also, I don't know which way we should start first. You have people that kind of depend on you. Those are good enough reasons, but sometimes if you think about it, like, and I get it, sometimes even I will be like, oh man, is this hard work worth it? I gotta do this, I gotta do all these carriers guidelines, I gotta do the Google Sheets, I gotta do this, I gotta do the keep, and I gotta make sure the leads are there, and I gotta make sure who's doing this, I gotta talk about customer service, and I gotta set up a new phone system, and it's just like, the to-do list is so endless. I'm like, okay, is this even worth it? But I'll tell you guys, if you guys ever come across that, if you make an extra $1,000 a month, which is very doable here, I mean, that already makes a big difference for us, for you guys. Okay, extra $1,000 a month. Like, let's just start there. Okay, if you could do that, and once you get that, you're probably hopefully not gonna go backwards. That will make a big difference over the course of your career. Okay, what about extra $2,000 a month you're making? Extra $3,000. Okay, getting to 100K. Okay, it's not gonna be easy, but what I'm trying to tell you guys, 150, 200, 250, there's no way we're gonna get to 200K, 250K without doing more work. It's gonna take a whole new level of skill sets. Like I'm learning about stuff that I didn't even know I had to learn about right now. Skill sets, leadership stuff. And I'm just telling you guys that if you kind of look at the treasure, what you're gonna get, that's what makes it worth it. Okay, so just like when you're working out, if you're thinking like, oh man, this sucks, or when you're having a baby, it's like, oh, this is brutal. Like, look at the treasure. You're gonna have a beautiful relationship. You're not gonna have a love relationship that strong with anybody ever, or you're gonna have a healthy lifestyle and you're gonna not be in pain and you're gonna live till you're older. That's like treasure. That's like amazing right there. So if you keep that in mind, then you're able to put in the work. Okay, so yeah, that's a good one. Okay, and then another thing is the harder you work, the smarter you get. A lot of times people will put in my comments and my stories because they see I was here at 5:30 and stuff like that. Oh, why don't you just work smarter? I'm like, the way to work smarter is by working harder. Because there's no way you're gonna know how to work smart if you're not working harder. Once you start working harder, then you find out how to work smarter. And then once you start doing both, then you start becoming unbeatable. But just really, when you work hard, the crazy thing happens, you become smarter and you start realizing that there's so much more work that needs to get done. Okay, if you're not working hard or if you're lazy, you think you know it all. Okay, so if you work hard, then you start realizing like, oh shit, to get to the next level, I'm gonna have to learn how to quote homes. All right, I'm gonna have to sell life, universal life, how to lead a team, how to manage somebody, how to motivate somebody, how to hold somebody accountable without being a jerk, how to train others, how to get more licenses, how to become more likable, how to get more leads, how to prevent a client from canceling. It's like so many different skills. You're like, oh shit, there's a whole nother list of things that I need to get better at to get to the next level. So actually, the harder you work, the smarter you get. And the smart people are the ones that feel like they have so much more work to do, and they accept that. And the people who don't work hard, they're not working hard, so they don't even realize what they need to actually do now. So the more you work, the smarter you get. And I think that's one of the benefits too. And then Laura talked about you get to win. Okay, you get to make more money. Again, that's the treasure, having an amazing career in insurance business. That's gonna be worth it, guys. It's gonna be worth it. But let's go to the flip side. You avoid losing. I don't know which one motivates you more. They say everyone's different, but they did a study, right? They had a mouse, they put it in a tube, and they starved it. And they put a piece of cheese at the end of the cube. And the hungrier they were, the faster they ran towards it, right? Okay, so they eat for like 5 hours, or if they didn't eat for 10 hours, then they'll run even faster because they're hungrier for that cheese. And they did a separate study of the mouse without cheese there, and what they had was a cat meowing sound, like a chasing them sound from the backside. And they actually ran faster that way from that than the cheese. So what that tells me is sometimes we got to use our fears to our advantage and say, like, what if I don't win? What's going to happen? That should motivate us too. Like, what if I don't work hard? You could be average, you could be fat, you could be lazy, you could be, average, you could lose your relationship, your partner may leave you, or your kids may think you're a loser, or you have to move to some city you never heard of because you can't afford it here. I mean, there's tons of things that could happen for not working hard too. So I don't care which side motivates you more, but we got to go. If you do both, I bet I didn't have the study, but if you have a cat chasing you, that sound and the cheese at the end, that mouse is going really fast. That's how we want to be too. Okay, because we have some fears that motivate us. Hey, we might lose some carriers. We're gonna listen to the rules, right? So we have to play both sides and use both sides to motivate us. All right, and then you become a winner. Once again, last point here. It's just a great feeling to know that once you put in work, do it for 10 years, you just know your competition is not gonna do that. Like I kind of look at somebody, and if they want to compete with me, it's like, I know you're not going to do half of what I've been doing. Like, you just have that confidence in you because like, even if other people don't know, like, you know how much work you did. That's what gives you ultimate confidence that you don't want to be cocky, but you have that confidence that you can't be beaten very easily because it takes so much time and so much work, and you kind of actually know that most people will not do what I did. And that gives you so much confidence. And when you work so hard, the things that happens is that you start feeling like you deserve more. A lot of times people don't get to where they want to get because they're self-limiting belief. They feel like I'm not worth it. It comes from that a lot of times. It's not really the lack of skill. It's the belief. For some reason, sometimes it comes from parents, sometimes it comes from wherever it may come from. It comes from somewhere where you feel like you don't deserve great things to happen in your life. You don't feel like you deserve to work out. You feel like you don't deserve extra money, or you feel like you don't deserve a great relationship. Those are issues that we gotta deal with. But when you do work hard, you start feeling like I deserve it because I put in the work. And when you have self-belief, that's really what makes the biggest difference. So you're gonna be extremely proud of yourself, and that's really the feeling I want you guys to have. In a selfish way, I want to help you guys become proud of yourselves. I'm proud of myself. I put in the work. Now I want you guys to make me feel like I'm proud of you guys. And most importantly, I want you guys to be proud of yourselves. All right, let's get it.